Assalamu alaikum and greetings to all. I'm Aksa Janejo and I'm associated with Habib University's Marketing and Communications and Global Resource Development offices. Welcome to the Leadership Dialogue, a key initiative within Habib University's Historic Opportunity and Access program. This series aims to showcase leadership excellence by engaging with leaders across diverse fields, providing a platform for visionary leaders who have paved distinctive paths to success and allowing the Habib community and society to learn from their remarkable journeys. Today, we are honored to have with us a generous, humble, and visionary leader whose firm commitment to philanthropy and community development has made a significant impact across different regions in the world. Mr. Asif Rangoonwala. Most importantly, Mr. Rangoonwala is an honorable trustee of UK Trust and actively works towards building Habib University's community of supporters. Recently, Mr. Rangoonwala was honored by King Charles III in the 2024 Birthday Honours List with the Commander of the British Empire for his philanthropic contributions in the United Kingdom and South Asia, particularly Pakistan. Congratulations, Asif Saab. Assalamu alaikum, and it is an honor to have you with us today.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Well, I think you've overdone it. I still have my feet on the ground. But thank you for all those wonderful accolades. I didn't know that I had accumulated so much.
See, this is the humility that a leader like yourself strongly possesses. These are the qualities that one should learn from. So, Asif Saab, my first question to you is a bit different. So instead of asking about your life journey, which I had initially thought that I would ask you about your life journey, I'd like to focus on your parents first, and especially your mother, Banu Rangoonwala. She was a remarkable leader and social entrepreneur, and also your father established himself as a prominent business leader across Asia, playing a pivotal role in fostering entrepreneurship in Pakistan shortly after its independence. Tell us about how their upbringing has shaped you into the person that you are today.
So, when we speak about my parents, they were both dynamic and had a big sense of social justice and social welfare, which is, I think, the reason why myself and my brothers are today in a position to actually give back to the communities. My mother was the most educated in the family, even today, outside of my son-in-law and my daughter-in-law, who are even higher educated, but amongst the direct family members, she was the most educated. She got her MSc Tech from Manchester University in 1950. And there's a little newspaper article about this Indian woman who came from the humble beginnings, but had gone on to make a mark for herself and for the community as a whole. She came on her way back to India in 1950-51. She stopped off in Pakistan, and that's where she met my father. And I believe she became the first patent officer of Pakistan, because I think at those levels there was nobody with that kind of education level available in Pakistan in those days. So again, as I said, that is a big accolade, and I think that's where her personal career started. And then she went on. Obviously, she got married to my father, who became, I think, he was one of the first justices of peace of Pakistan, and also one of the Karachi fathers, as they call them, which was originally what the KMC used to be, right? Anyways, my mom's career went on where she established Pond's Cold Cream and Vaseline with the help of my father. He needed to give her something to do because she was a smart, aggressive individual as a woman. And in those days, that didn't really happen. So he gave her the opportunity to start this business for Pond's Cold Cream and Vaseline Hair Tonic. And shampoos and all of that stuff, which she was the builder of that until the late 60s. And I think then she moved on to things like, I think she became president of APWA, the All Women's Pakistan Association. She had a big role to play at the Rangoonwala Center and the ZBM Trust. I think between her and my late father, they they were a good team. And I think that is a lesson for everybody else to take away from here, that, you can have your differences of opinion, but at the same time, there are many things that are in common which are more important than your differences. I think that's another takeaway, which again helped part of my life when growing up. My parents were always very, very keen to teach me to be humble and to reflect on issues rather than just come out with it.
Asif sir, what is your philanthropic philosophy, if I may ask?
My father, मेरे वालिद साहब ने हमेशा मुझे ये बोला था कि भाई, there are two kinds of people in this world. There are givers and there are takers. Most people are takers, they are not givers, because a lot of people can't give. But you can give in other ways, okay? You don't have to give money, you can give your time. Time is more important than money is, because money is an easy way. But as a wise man once said, to give money to get to heaven is like finding a needle in a haystack. You cannot.
Right.
So, just because you can give money and then you do all the bad things doesn't work. So my daughter Maheen works with me in the foundation alongside two of the other kids, and we've developed a very good system where we try to be really judicious in our giving, but at the same time we put in a lot of time. Okay, we have a very strict M&E, monitoring and evaluation system. Once it goes into the giving side of it, or if we allocate funding towards a project, we're very particular. We have KPIs, we have deliverables. It's become like a business,
right?
Because it's
proper structure in place.
It's professionalized. Yeah, you can give, which also is a good thing. Nobody in this sector. It's a little bit entrepreneurial itself. Most entrepreneurs become philanthropists anyway, and entrepreneurs are givers because whether they do it for their personal pleasure in building something, whether it's a question of seeing the pleasure in other people's faces or eyes when they get something, these are all turn-ons. Which drive people like us. And remember, entrepreneurs are unique because they are builders, okay? And they like to build. So in a way, it really fits into what entrepreneurs do is the philanthropy side, is the giving side, okay? Of course, we are taught in our religion that, the right hand should not know what the left hand is doing. But at the same time, again, as I said, at times, one needs to show others or lead the way. One of the interesting points I wanted to raise was, working in NGOs and giving your time should become a career pathway for people. People think working for charities, my career is not going to go anywhere. Well, that's not true, okay? Your career will flourish the more you go into the third sector, because as I said, there's an opportunity. This is a career path for people. Okay, as philanthropy gets more and more sophisticated, as the givers get more involved in giving, you'll see that you need more and more professionals to manage these things, right? If you want to do something well, then you've got to run it as a professional, and it has to be sustainable. NGOs in countries like ours don't believe that, that managers and stuff should get bonuses, but that needs to change, because if you want results, if you want that individual to deliver, then you give them their KPIs, you give them their deliverables, and when they deliver, you've got to look after them, because even they have aspirations.
You're absolutely right. The first point that I could understand was, again, it's not just about money. Philanthropy is not just about money. Giving is not just about money. It's also about investing your own self in servicing others. So, it could be $1 million smile that you give to somebody else to make them feel better, the way you always do, mashallah, to make us all feel amazing about ourselves, and the appreciation that you give others, the way you acknowledge others. But at the same time, you raised a very, very important point, and it was, the mainstreaming not-for-profit sector as something that individuals should aspire to get into. Asab, मुझे ये बताएं कि arts and culture एक ऐसी field है that has been often overlooked when it comes to philanthropic investments, क्योंकि obviously education है, health है, और मुख्तलिफ urgent causes हैं जिससे इंसानी survival बहुत ज़्यादा attached है, उसमें investment ज़्यादा होती है. लेकिन जो रंगूनवाला फैमिली है, उन्होंने डिफाई किया मेन स्ट्रीम नैरेटिव को, और उन्होंने इस्टेब्लिश की VM आर्ट गैलरी इन कराची. तो मुझे इन्वेस्टमेंट इन आर्ट एंड कल्चर के पीछे आप फिलॉसफी थोड़ी बताइएगा, और इस हवाले से थोड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन जो रंगूनवाला फैमिली का है उसको बताइएगा.
Good question, thank you. We started VM Art Gallery in 1987 with a lady by the name of Rifat Alvi, Dr. Rifat Alvi. Rifat was an artist herself who was well known in Pakistan, and myself and Rifat started at the VM Art Gallery in 1987. Look, I like art. I'm not very talented, and I can't paint for anything. My wife is a very good artist. But I looked at it more from, again, I'm going back to the same thing as third sector and professionals. I'm looking at it from a career path for people.
Right.
Okay. Now, one of the reasons to start a promotional art gallery was I said, wow, in those days we were at 180 million or whatever people. I said, yeah, kuch to smart log hoenge na, kuch to talented log hoenge. Again, it's like the Jawan champions.
Right.
You put 100 people in a room, you're going to get 5-10 people who are good. Okay?
Absolutely.
Who are either smart or who are talented with their hands and they can do things, right? And so, in the same way, the objective was that the art market in Pakistan was at a very, very low end, in my opinion. Today it's become very expensive because people have understood art. As there's prosperity in the country, people want to decorate their walls, people start understanding things a little bit better, they get more educated, so they want talent and they want art on their walls and so on and so forth. So we looked at it from a point of view that if we can produce a few artists every year, their careers will flourish. Alongside there are many other paths, but in those days, as I said, it was still very early days. Now we have progressed that, and I think you are right, Aksa, that, is it that important when there are people who can't eat, or people who are struggling from a medical point of view, or, just normal, ordinary families who are living hand to mouth? Art itself is a profession, okay?
Right.
And there are many things that we don't do well enough in our country that need to be better refined. So again, as I said, this is leading towards a career path for young people so that they can establish themselves within. And then you use the giving angle of it, right? Whether you want to give away some of your art to a museum or to friends, which in the past, if you look at the people like Kalabach and Bipin Kakar in India, or you look at Souza or M.F. Hussain or people like that, or even Chuktai or Ghulam Rasul, a lot of them were never really greatly successful people, but when they made art, they sold it to these rich people. Sometimes they just gave the art to them, okay, because they were getting some kind of medical facility or some kind of food or whatever. They were staying in their houses, right? Or, you've got people like Wahab Jafar in Pakistan or Ahmed Pervez. Now, again, if we didn't have those people, we wouldn't have their art, okay? And today there's a lot of value in it. But having said that, art consists of many different areas like archiving, restoration. We've got such ancient civilizations in Pakistan. We should have people who are more geared towards these things, right? Who are taking anthropology, who are taking archaeology in universities and stuff like that. Why can't young people make a career out of something like archaeology, right? Or in, art restoration or frame making, okay? You can go down the chain. There's a huge value chain involved in art and culture. And again, I'll go back to my parents, who were great thinkers and visionaries when they set up the Rangoonwala Community Center in 1971 with the objective that, hey, you need to put things back. You can't take everything.
That's interesting. No, it's, I'm learning a lot, especially when you said, when you were talking about the art itself and investing in it, it does help you portray the soft image of your country to the, world. And that is just one part of it. But, the amazing fact that you mentioned is the priority of you and your family to help youngsters make a career out of it. So it's not just investment and giving a platform through an art gallery to showcase your art, but also invest your time and energy into it and be paid for it, make a career out of it. So that's something which is really, the variety of causes that you support and the variety of platforms that and thoughtful platforms that your family has been able to create for the communities is truly inspirational. So Asif Saab, Pakistani higher education has faced multiple problems, in fact crisis, with regards to intellectual experience, access to quality higher education, and community support and institution building. So Habib University offered solutions and is actively and successfully working towards addressing these challenges by introducing a liberal arts and sciences educational model and making it accessible for students by creating Pakistan's first ever community co-owned institution. So as a supporter of this institution, monetarily and otherwise, you are, mashallah, on the board of Habib University Foundation Trust UK. How do you perceive the university's role and contribution to the country?
Well, first of all, I think we need to acknowledge the Habib family's role in being visionaries, and specifically, your president, I think chairman of the of Habib University, I think, Mr. Rafiq Habib, and secondly, my dear friend Ali Suleiman Habib, who was actually, very much part with Rafiq in developing this concept. And I learned a lot from him, actually, in the vision that how important education is at a grassroots level, at a level where, it's the common man. It's not about people who can just afford it. And I think that to me was a motivator. That's why I agreed to be part and to assist the Habib University in its mission and its challenge. So yes, I believe that the Habib University was a much needed liberal arts college or university. I think I think they've achieved a niche that was a big requirement in Pakistan. Hopefully, with them leading, you can see the Aga Khan University as putting up its own liberal arts college because there's so much room for it, right? Yes, we've got 167 universities in Pakistan. I don't know if that number is 100% right, but it's around those numbers. And I think the opportunity is just great. It is a struggle because when you have an impressive university like Habib University itself, again, I go back to the sustainability angle of it. Yes, the Habib family has a vision. It's got the money, but it can't be one family. It has to be the rest of us. Okay? And I think when you're talking about nation building and when you're talking about things like institutional level organizations like the Habib University, I think others have to get together and help them. So look, I think it's it's one of those, what do you call it, a changing the dial movement, opportunity where they've actually just said, hey, what is available is not good enough. We need to go to the next level. Right. And I think that's where Habib has made Habib University and the Habib family's vision is going to make has already made a difference, but going forward for the nation, I think that it's going to play a very, very important role. And then remember, it's those young people that come out of this university, getting educated and just looking at one thing, which is an opportunity to get out. And I hope that by Habib University providing these courses in liberal arts will provide a bigger pool of young people who will stay in our country and move it to the next level and meet the challenges of the future.
Okay, Asif Saab, last but not the least, what key pieces of advice would you give to students and aspiring leaders who wish to make a positive impact in their communities? I do understand कि आपकी पूरी conversation में, पूरी talk में बहुत सारे advices हैं जो मिलेंगे once they watch it. But just to sum it up, what comes at the top of your head?
Yeah. So at the top of my head is positivity. If you think positive, it will happen. Okay? I keep telling myself, if you don't dream, you'll never get there. So dreaming, there's nothing wrong with dreaming that you'll be Prime Minister. No problem. अरे सोच तो रखो, Prime Minister नहीं तो Secretary तो बन ही जाएंगे. Okay? So, I think it's about positive thinking. I think it's about hard work. I think it's about being good to people. Not everybody's capable. So, even I lose it with people at times, right? So, but remember, it's important to remind yourself always if you're being bad or if you're being mean or if you're not nice to a poor person or an older person, yes, you can go back and you can ask forgiveness, or as I said, try not to do it again.
Right.
Again, God tells us to forgive. Okay, so I think forgiveness is important. Forgive others who are bad to you because you don't want to carry it. Okay, try not to look back. If you fall down, get up. Nobody's going to give you any credit for falling down, but people will give you credit for getting up. देखो ना, मार खाने के बाद जब जो आदमी उठता है उसको लोग रिकग्नाइज करते हैं. वो जो गिरा हुआ रहता है वहीं रहता है, कोई उसको देखता भी नहीं. So again, as I said, as young people, and this is to people who are at your university or youths who are in their teens or in their early 20s, that look, you're gonna fall. Everybody falls. Just get right back up and keep going.
Thank you so much, Asif Saab. I think this was the best message to end our conversation on. And we are very thankful to you for taking time out and sharing the story of yours and your family's meaningful contribution towards philanthropy and business. We have absolutely learned a lot from it, and we are very proud of what you have been able to accomplish. And we hope to have another session with you very, very soon. Thank you everybody for joining us, and we'll be back with Leadership Dialogues, another episode very soon. Thank you, and Khuda Hafiz.